Give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel. Give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel. Be the reason someone smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel. Give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel. Be the reason someone smiles. Siva, gedola, lio, desimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, desimcha. Siva, gedola, lio, desimcha. Siva.
Breakfast with Elli.
Mode ani lefanecha melech chai vekayam shechezarta bi nishmati bechemla Rabba emunatecha.
Alle Brüder und Schwestern, was gefinnen sich in Eretz HaKodesh in Eretz Israel. Stehen nicht in Asamin Lage, wo der Eberste beschützt sie und schickt sie seine Brüche und Atzloche und Yeshua in a vergrößerte Moss, gedei sie soll mal rauskommen und sie will mal rauskommen von dem ichtigen Massel mit Atzloche.
מבקשים ומתחננים אנו בזה שכל קדושת אדמו"ר יתר נא עלינו ולכל בני ביתנו שיחיו, שימלא הקדוש ברוך הוא כל משל עשינו לבבינו לטובה ולברכה בגשמיס וברוחניס ובטוב ונראה ונגלה מתוך בריאס הנכונה והשלמה ולהצליח למלא את שליחותנו הקדושה במילואה ובשלמותה. מתוך ברכה מיוחדת בקשר למצב הנורא בארצנו הקדושה, לאחר שנרצחו באכזריות נוראה מייס יהודים רחמנא ליצלן ביום שמיני עצרת ושמחת תורה, ומייס נלקחו כבני ערובה בידי שונאינו רחמנא ליצלן, והרבה נפצעו רחמנא ליצלן. הננו מתחננים ומתפללים למען אחינו בני ישראל השבויים רחמנא ליצלן, שיחזרו לחיק משפחתם בריאים ושלמים, ושהפצועים יחלימו ברפואה שלמה וקרבה, ברפואת הגוף ורפואת הנפש, ושיחזר הביטחון לכל תושבי ארצנו הקדושה באופן ושכבתם ואין מחט. ברכה מיוחדת עבור אנשי החיל של צבא ההגנה לישראל, שיצליחו במשימתם להגן על תושבי ארץ הקודש, ויצליחו במלחמתם נגד אויבי ישראל, למנוע מהם כל אפשרויות לפגוע בביטחון של ארץ ישראל.
אז ארץ ישראל היא das המחלס אילו, המדיקי ירושה ונחלה, was sie gegeben geworden von Elli Eilo, von den Lebensten, was ist der Balabos von der ganzen Welt, der Anmeldung zu dem ewigen Volk, was sie sein ewig überleben, alle Goliaths mit alle verschiedene Lachazim, Drückungen und Gsehren.
Good morning, good brothers. Welcome to the first day of the month of Kislev, Rosh Chodesh Kislev. The Torah portion is Toldos, Elli Toldos Yaakov. Yitzchak, rather. HaYom Yom Revi'i L'Shabbos. Today is the third day counting up towards Shabbos. We learned the third AliyahChanukah is just 23 days away. I know, it's nothing. It's really nothing. It's here. It's on top of us. All right. Let's talk about some tzitzis for Israel.
Our Talmidim are making tzitzis for soldiers in Israel. It's our way of trying to send the protection and the love and care and concern we have for them through a beged, so that when soldiers are on the front line, we'll be with them.
בית ועוד בית, מקיבוץ עד למושב, בעיר אחת גדולה, עשויה כולה זהב. ישראל היא הבית שלי, ישראל החלום שאיתי, ישראל כאן ועכשיו, ישראל, ישראל.
Absolutely, positively well. All right. So, men and boys, take your two front tzitzis. Let us make a bracha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit.
All right. Everyone together, al divrei Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al divrei Torah.
All right. Hareini Mekabel.
Hareini Mekabel alai mitzvat aseh shel ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
All right. Torah Tziva.
Ay Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha keilat Yaakov. Torah tziva lanu Moshe morasha keilat Yaakov.
All right. Tzedakah. Get your money out.
I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki for someone else to keep. Yeah, I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki for someone else in need.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Time for the Shema. Here we go. And that takes us to breakfast. And for breakfast, I have coffee and yogurt. Ugh, can you imagine? Are you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihya b'dvaroi.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way. Yeah.
Look at that. It's pudding. You know how much I like that. All right. Today, okay. Oh, we have a lot to talk about today. Let me see if I can duplicate this really quick. Hold on one second. Oh, it's being stubborn. All right. Let us start with, as per the Talmud, the month of Kislev. That's fine. As per the Talmud, the month of Kislev marks the onset of the winter season in the Holy Land. It is considered the third month of the season of rains. For the first time since suffering a major heart attack 5 years earlier on the eve of Shmini Atzeres, the Rebbe left his office in 770 Eastern Parkway and returned to his home, signaling his recovery. Hasidim all over the world rejoiced at the good news in 1977. From that day on, the Rebbe redoubled his efforts on behalf of the Jewish nation and all of humanity, and for the dissemination of Torah and Hasidism. From then on, the first of Kislev is celebrated as a day of Haidah, thanksgiving, and rejoicing. There's a great article if you go to therebbe.org, therebbe.org. All right? Special portions are added today to the prayers. As you know, Ya'aleh V'Yavo and Hallel in its partial form. There is a custom to make a Farbrengen on Rosh Chodesh, and more. All right. Kislev's uniqueness lays in its wealth of Hasidic festivals and auspicious occasions. Moreover, it's crowned with no less a date than the Rosh Hashanah of Hasidus, which occurs on the 19th day. Yud Tes Kislev. Further, the month of Kislev pulsates with the theme of liberation and redemption. Its first day marks the anniversary of the restoration of the Rebbe's health, soon followed by the anniversaries of the release of the Mittler Rebbe, the second Lubavitcher Rebbe, on the 10th of Kislev, and the Alter Rebbe, the first Lubavitcher Rebbe, on the 19th of Kislev. And the final days of the month are illuminated with the miraculous salvation of the lights of Hanukkah. It's no wonder, then, that Kislev is described as the Hasidic month of redemption, and the month of joy, since every Rosh Chodesh encapsulates the month that follows. Rosh Chodesh is considered auspicious dates. Let's see. Right. All right. Throughout Kislev, the Rebbe would instruct those present at his Farbrengens to sing the special melody that has become synonymous with Kislev, Pada B'Shalom. Let me see if I can pull that up really quick for you. I think it'll come up really quick. Here we go. Pada B'Shalom.
Good Yom Tov, Shalom Aleichem. Just very quickly, I wanted to make a little disclaimer. Tonight, my mother is marking the yahrzeit of her mother. So for the musical part, my mother's going to have to go out. So before you go, I would like to do one niggin without music, just vocal. If everybody can sing along, this is a special niggin, L'Kovet Yud Tes Kislev. You all know it. So let's sing everybody together like this. Pada B'Shalom, Nafshi
All right, HaYom Yom
שמע את התפילה שבליבנו ותמחול את כל עוונותינו.
Today's HaYom Yom is yet another entry about the great chassid Rabbi Yekusiel Lepler, who, as mentioned, was a chassid of the Alter Rebbe, the first Rebbe of Chabad. And today we're talking about Rabbi Yekusiel's davening. This was a very, very spiritual, great man who, says the HaYom Yom, at times would daven the 3 daily prayers, Shachris, Mincha, and Ma'ariv, at such a great length that by the time he finished Shachris, it was already time for Mincha. And by the time he finished Mincha, it was already time for Ma'ariv. There was no time for anything else throughout the day. For many of us, davening, prayer, is a means for a better life. For Rabbi Yekusiel, his whole life was all about davening.
If only, right? If only we could attain that level. What can I tell you? A lot to do in a short time that we're given. A word from our sponsors.
And now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidall.com.
PestProRidall.com, trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidall.com.
Tarzane Group, micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzanegroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565. And order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzanegroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications. Logos, wall hangings, Judaica. And you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Torah, 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 Ziva Lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Ziva Lanu Moshe.
Right now, breakfastwithelli.live is not working. Breakfastwithelli.com is not working right now. We are looking into the problem. Don't know what it is. Still trying to determine. Going to speak to the internet provider today and see if we can figure it out. But if you'd like to contribute, patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, or this handy little barcode over here will take you right to the donation page for our GoFundMe. That's right. That's right. Okay. Let's see. What are we doing? We're doing the Parsha. All right. Hold on 1 second. Where did that go? All right. Oops. Here we go. That's wrong. Sorry about that, folks. Hold on. There we go. No, that's not right. 186. I know. Dead air. Hate dead air. All right. Yes. All right. Continuing our Parsha. When we read an assignment before hearing it at a lecture, we are much better able to absorb the contents of the lecture than when we hear it cold. Similarly, Avram may have impressed and inspired his audiences, but since he didn't require them to do any homework, that is, follow up his teachings by refining themselves further, they couldn't attain any level of divine consciousness higher than those that he could express to them himself. They remained essentially unchanged by his teachings. Now, that's not to belittle the tremendous impact of Avram's efforts. He influenced thousands of people and attracted a sizable following, but these masses were nourished wholly by his inspiration, charisma, and a personal example. When they left his presence and resumed their own lives, their enthusiasm for his teachings waned. Now, Yitzchak sensed that the very approach responsible for the outstanding success of his father's program was paradoxically the greatest threat to its perpetuation. He understood that in order to ensure the continued success of his father's undertaking, his own discipline, strictness, rigorousness, and a respect for standards, his gevura, would now have to complement his father's loving kindness, chesed, just as his mother's particularism had to complement his father's universalism. Wow. Heavy stuff over here. He introduced into Avram's program the ideal of self-refinement, of encouraging the disciple to assume responsibility for laying the spiritual groundwork before hearing the master's lessons. Whereas Avram's approach can be conceived as a downward vector, bringing divinity down to even the lowest rungs of humanity. Sorry about that. Getting back. All right. Yitzchak's approach can be conceived as an upward vector, elevating the people so that they can integrate increasingly higher levels of divine consciousness into their lives. And that was precisely the message that Yitzchak communicated to the world by digging wells. As opposed to filling a pit with water brought from elsewhere, digging a well reveals an already existing source of water merely concealed beneath the layers of the earth. If Avram's message to the world was, "Come revive your jaded, insensate minds with the refreshing water of divine consciousness," Yitzchak's message was, "Now that you have been revived, look for your own source of water. Dig away all the dirt, rid yourself of the filth encumbering your life, and you will reveal within yourself a wellspring of divine awareness that will serve to quench your spiritual thirst your whole lifetime." And we will continue this, God willing, tomorrow. In the third Aliyah, Yitzchak becomes extremely wealthy. He redug some of the wells that his father Avram had dug, but had since been stopped by the Philistines, Plishtim. The Philistines eventually became envious of his wealth and asked him to leave. Yitzchak complied, moving away from the city and settling in the valley of Gerar. There, Yitzchak's servants dug 2 new wells, but the Philistines contested the ownership over these wells. The 3rd well he dug was uncontested. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Let's do Chumash and Rashi with Rabbi Aftzin. All right. And that takes us to Parsha points. With, here we go.
Parsha points for Toldos Tuesday. What are you good at? Find your gift and hammer away at it. Abraham digs wells, but that's not his thing. Isaac, he was a well digger. He could dig deep down and find latent godliness. His father was about bringing godliness down from the skies. Yitzchak brought godliness up from the earth. Know who you are. Make your life the usage of your gifts. If you're not a digger, you'll find other ways to help. And if you are, then dig away. You dig?
Silly. Very silly. HaYom Yom Revi'i.
Parashat Toledot Aliyat Yisrael. Aliyat Shilishi, the third Aliyah. We continue with this concept of Ma'aseh Avot Siman Lebanim, but when you read the text, it should jump out at you that that's what the Torah is trying to say. The Aliyah is going to tell us that Yitzchak is going to redig some of the wells that his father Abraham had originally dug in this region that were stopped up by the Pilishtim. I want to read the pasuk. Pay attention to the words. First it says, V'chol ha'be'erot asher chafru avdei aviv, b'imei Avraham aviv, sitemum Pilishtim v'imalu'um afar. So Yitzchak went to dig the wells that the servants of his father dug in the days of Abraham, his father. They stopped them up and they filled them up with dirt. We know that Abraham is Yitzchak's father. It tells me twice in the pasuk that Abraham is Yitzchak's father. Why is the Torah telling me something I already know? Very clear. Ma'aseh avot siman lebanim. Yitzchak is preserving what his father Abraham had already begun. We see it again later in the pasuk. Vayashuv Yitzchak vayachpor et perot hamayim asher chavru b'imei Abraham aviv. Vayisatemum Pilishtim acharei mot Abraham. Vayikra lahen shemot kashemot asher kara lahen aviv. The pasuk is using here what's called a milat manha, a thematic word. When the Torah repeats a word over and over and over again in a short span, it is drawing your attention to that word. That word is the focus. Figure out what it is that the Torah is trying to tell you by repeating that word over and over and over again. And in this case, of course, it's aviv. Yitzchak is preserving that which his father began, Ma'aseh Avot Siman Lebanim, which is going to be a theme that weaves together the entire parasha. The Aliyah continues talking about the wells, which I want to talk about a little bit later in the week, but at some point, the Pilishtim tell Yitzchak, you got to go. He's making too much money. He's frustrating them because they are jealous of his success, and essentially they are going to kick him out because of the fact that they see the success that he is having that they do not have.
All right, let's hit up Rabbi Martyr.
Good Tov, good morning. We continue with our 3-minute daily dose of Torah and my third dispatch from Israel. So today is Rosh Chodesh, but yesterday was Erev Rosh Chodesh. What's significant about Erev Rosh Chodesh? Well, it's something that most of us don't really have experience participating in, but there is a practice that involves penitential prayers and supplication prayers that is one that goes back many hundreds of years for Erev Yom Kippur, Erev Rosh Chodesh, called Yom Kippur Hatan, Mini Yom Kippur. I've been to the Kotel before on Yom Kippur Katan, and I've seen sort of just a small group of people that are involved wearing sackcloth mamish. They had special little sackcloth outfits, and that's what they would do and offer prayers. Most of us would daven regular mincha. But this time, the most of the at least the inner space of the Kotel environs, in that whole inner chamber, everyone was praying with gusto the penitential prayers of Yom Kippur Katan. I'll just play for you one such tefillah that is sort of the most active one, and you'll hear it and you'll see it. I gotta start over again. Shofarot being blown. Slichos, someone's going to fall to the ground. Fully, right? This is intense. This is intense tefillah. Intense tefillah. Because everybody understands that we're living in special times that are quite unusual and call for our heavy prayers. So on the way to the Kotel, I decided I would stop at one of the hotels. I forgot the new name of the hotel. It was formerly the King Solomon. And I said, I'm sure, and I was right, that it's holding displaced folks from either the north or the south. And in fact, they actually were holding both. People from Sderot, who I did not have a chance to meet, but people from Kiryat Shmona. So I decided I would go in and I used myself well, observed kind of the space a little bit, read the bulletin board first to see what was being offered to them. And then I saw some people who were making their way out to the veranda, some of them to smoke, a lot of smoking going on. So I followed one woman out, and I asked, Afshal Hashevet, can I take a seat? And then I said, Ani Chaim me Tzot Brit. I'm Chaim from America, and she told me she's Bruria from Kiryat Shmona, and we had a sweet conversation. Very, woman of great faith, but if it's the first time, she said, the first time with all that happens in Kiryat Shmona, and there's a lot that's happened there, the first time that she's actually left. First time she's left, when the orders had come. When I finished talking with her, I made my way. I talked with Arik for a little while, who's out of work and really desperately needs to be doing something, but there's no work to be had. And then after that conversation, I sat with Aliza. Aliza had come to Israel, AliyahChanukah, in the early 1950s from North Africa, youth Aliyah. And her mother came I think 2 years later. She was 15, so her mother came when she was 17. And at that point, her mother was settled in the new town called Kiryat Shmona, which had a different name, an Arabic name beforehand. And she described really the very difficult conditions, standing on line for a shower, limited amounts of food, very, very harsh conditions. But they were part of it, and she was part of it. She was part of building Kiryat Shmona. So that was 1955, I think it was, that she moved there, and now she finds herself in this hotel. Some of her conversations circled around a few times, but I was patient with her. And I think back to the conversation I had with Bruria, because, Erev Rosh Chodesh is Yom Kippur Katan, then there's Rosh Chodesh. Daven Mariv at the Kotel. And I was thinking about something that Bruria said to me.
What happened? All right. Rabbi Zusha Zilberstein.
איך לא פחדת? פחדתי, אבל יש לי... אבא שלך סיפר לי שבאותו יום ארור, ב7 באוקטובר, אתה ממש ראית את המחבלים מתחת לבית, נכון? אתם גרים בשדרות. איך לא פחדת?
פחדתי, אבל יש לי ביטחון בהשם, ואם הרבי שלח אותי לכאן, אני אעשה את זה עד הסוף.
Fans, Sam Tzedakah, with the prayer for the security and safety of our dear brothers in Eretz Yisrael and all over the world, as we know. We're all in it together, we're all being affected, we're all being targeted with hate. Let's respond with love. This past weekend, as you know, was the Kinus of Shluchim, the gathering of the Shluchim from all over the world. Israeli Shluchim were not able to attend, so the banquet took place Sunday afternoon. Some of you might have seen it online. I want to share with you a most powerful speech that I ever heard. And this is from a little child. Don't know his first name. I'm going to guess Mendel. Who there are 3 generations of shlichus in the city of Sderot. If you follow a little bit of what happened on October 7 and what's been happening the last 20 odd years, Sderot is the place that there is constantly bombs, rockets falling. Now this family is there the whole time and is still there. Didn't run away, didn't move. And this is what this little boy said. He spoke in Hebrew. I will translate. I definitely cannot say the way he said it, with his strength, with his stamina. I mean, impressive. In fact, I'm going to attach the link to his speech in Hebrew. You're welcome to listen to it. This is what he says. First of all, when the father was asked, how do you stay there with your family? What do you do there? How do you feel? So the father answered, it's irrelevant how we feel. We're here because the Rebbe sent us, and we're staying here because people need us. Grandfather, now is the time to live this which we have been teaching all our lives, and this which the Rebbe taught us, to have full bitachon and faith. Now is the test. Is it words or is it reality? And for them it is real. Now listen what this little boy says. Since I was born, I heard thousands of times the sirens going off. Thousands of times I knew about the 12 seconds I had to run to the shelter. Thousands of times I made it on time, and tens of times I did not make it on time. And then all I knew was that I must be lying on the floor, put my hands over my head, and hope that the rockets will not be close to me or to anyone else. Then he takes off his bulletproof vest and his heavy helmet, and he says, I don't think I need this protection here. I'm with you, with thousands of shluchim. This is my best protection. And he took off his helmet and his bulletproof vest, and he continues. He asked for the lights to be closed for 12 seconds, and please, all of you, close your eyes. And he says, in general, these 12 seconds are here to frighten us, to divide us, to think that might be the end of our lives. Run for shelter. But I want to tell you a different perspective of those 12 seconds. In 12 seconds, my dear shluchim, you can encourage another person. In 12 seconds, you can hug another Jew. In 12 seconds, you can recite a blessing with another Jew. In 12 seconds, you can put a smile on the face of another Jew. In 12 seconds, you can encourage another Jew to have trust and faith in Hashem. In 12 seconds, you can encourage and show another Jew how to do a mitzvah, another good deed. In 12 seconds, you can actually revive his spirits and lift him or her out of their frightened and discouraged mood. Indeed, in 12 seconds, you can run to a shelter with an infant on your hands and save a precious life. Dear shluchim, emissaries of the Rebbe, you know how to utilize and maximize 12 precious seconds. Instead of lying down and thinking about yourself, in those 12 seconds we can lie and pray that no rocket should fall on any Jew. Imagine the Rebbe's holy image and pray for all those terrible sufferings. And more so, Pray for the revelation of Mashiach and the rebuilding of the third Beis Hamikdash. Every shliach, he says, has particular challenges and difficulties. But my dear shluchim, just like my family is not leaving Sderos, we're staying there. Don't run away from your responsibilities. Fill them. Friends, in less than 12 seconds, we can welcome Mashiach and dance together in the Beis Hamikdash. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. No need to add anything to these words.
Wow. Wow. Absolutely amazing. All right. With that, we move on to Tehillim.
Al Yedei Amiras Tehillim, Al Yedei Amiras Tehillim, Al Yedei Amiras Tehillim, Tisoyre Chavatzeles HaShoroin.
All right, you know the drill. Chapters 23 and 122.
Mole David, Adonai Ro'i, Lo Echsar, Binus Teshe, Yarbitzeni, Al Memnuchos Yinahaleni, Nafshi Shovev, Yancheni V'Magle Tzedek, Leman Shemo, Kam Kilech Begetz Al Moves, Oirara, Ki Ata Imadi, Shivtecha Mishantecha, Hema Yenachamuni, Taroch Lefanai, Shulchan, Neged Torerai, Tishanta Vashemen Roshi, Kosi Levaya, Ach, Tova Chesed Yirdefuni, Kol Yemei Chayai, Veshavti Bevis Adonai, Leorech Yamim.
Shamala Yisrael, Bisamachti, V'yim Nimli, V'yisaleinu, Yinei, Oyim and Doisa, Yuda, V'leinu, B'shara, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Havenuya, Ki Shechura La Yachdav, Sheshamu Shatim Shifteya, Eidus L'Yisrael, Lehoyda Yisrael, Shayim Aleinai, Kishama Yashavu Chizais V'mishvat, Kislev Leveis David, Shalu Shalayim, Yerushalayim, Yishrayu, I have a year, aha, 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 Yishalayim, Chayilei Shava, V'ayim Yisayir, aha, aha, V'ma'anachai V'reya, Yadabrona, Shalayim, V'ma'anei Zalina Yelayheinu, Avav Shatayula, V'ma'anei Zalei Shem Elokeinu, Avav Shatayula,
Tanya.
All right. Tanya for today, Rosh Chodesh Kislev.
And your thoughts for the first day of Kislev. The key to life is sincerity. If you can fake that, you got it made. You know who's sincere? Little children. Teach them to say, Kometz Alepha, and they say, Kometz Alepha. No challenges, no who said so, no let me speak with my lawyer. Just Kometz Alepha. They're not troubled by every idea and suspicious of each lesson. Let's be childish. It's good for the soul.
Let's talk Tanya for the first of Kislev, Rosh Chodesh Kislev. In yesterday's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe spoke about davening without kavana, that when a person davens without kavana, so then the davening doesn't go up to heaven at all. And he brings sources from that from the Zohar. And as we've mentioned, when we started Kuntas Achron, that part of the function or the purpose of Kuntas Achron is the Alter Rebbe resolving various areas in Kabbalah which seem to contradict each other in pertaining to the topics that we talk about in Tanya. So here also the Alter Rebbe says, well, there's another place in the Zohar where it seems that when a person davens without kavanah, it does go up. And the Alter Rebbe resolves the contradiction and says, yes, it goes up, but it goes up to what is known as Malchus Da'asiyah, which is the lowest level of the lowest world, or the lowest level of the lowest heaven. And because that is the direct source of this world, the fact that the prayer goes up over there, the davening goes up over there, so essentially it didn't transcend the world. We can't say that it went up to the heavens, it just goes up to the source of the world in the spiritual worlds. Then the Alter Rebbe brings another place where it says that actually when a person davens without kavanah, the davening goes up all the way to the world of Bria, which is a pretty high spiritual world. And Alter Rebbe says that's a different type of aliyah, it's a different type of ascending. Because sometimes when something goes up to heaven, it's not because it's there to unite with the holiness over there, but actually it's over there to cause damage over there. So you don't confuse that. When we're saying it doesn't go up, it means it doesn't go up to do anything positive. Yes, actually davening without kavanah could go up to do damage in the higher worlds. And then the Alter Rebbe in today's Tanya, he transitions back to Torah study without kavanah, which, if you remember, we said that as opposed to davening without kavanah, which the davening does not go up, when a person studies Torah without kavanah, it does go up. It goes up to the world of Yitzirah and it creates angels. And the reason why we explain this is because there's nothing blocking the Torah from going up. And the Torah brings an interesting proof for this. We know that the Talmud tells us that there's something very special about the Torah study of children before the age of Bar and Bas Mitzvah. It's known as Hevel She'ein Bechit. The Torah comes from breath that has no sin, because children don't have any sins because that Torah study. So the same concept applies also when we study. But
having a little bit of trouble.